Dr. Marcus Chun had always prided himself on his professional demeanor, even when dealing with the galaxy's most dangerous predators. 20 years of xenobiology research had taught him that respect and caution were humanity's greatest assets when encountering alien life forms. So when the Galactic Council assigned him to study the newly discovered Vex-High species, he approached the task with his usual scientific rigor. The Vex-High were apex predators from the storm-racked world of Kefmor and sleek, feline-like beings with midnight black fur, razor-sharp fangs, and eyes that glowed like molten gold. Standing nearly 7 feet tall, they possessed reflexes that made cheetahs look sluggish and strength that could crush titanium with bare hands. Their society was built on honor, combat prowess, and an intricate hierarchy based on hunting achievements. Specimen assigned to his research, a female warrior named Zixtara had initially regarded him with the same disdain she might show a particularly unimpressive insect. She spoke in clipped, formal tones, answered his questions with military precision, and maintained a distance that suggested she could kill him without breaking stride. For 3 months, their interactions remained coldly professional. Marcus documented her physiology, tested her capabilities, and marveled at the elegant lethality of her species. Zixtara tolerated his presence with barely concealed impatience, clearly viewing the research as beneath her station as a decorated huntress. Everything changed on the day Marcus made his joke. He'd been reviewing footage of her combat demonstrations, particularly impressed by her lightning-fast strikes during a sparring session with the station security droids. Without thinking, he muttered under his breath, "Sweet Fang, that was incredible." The moment the words left his mouth, Zixtara went completely still. Her ears, those expressive, tufted triangles that telegraphed her every emotion, snapped forward with laser focus. Her golden eyes widened, pupils dilating as she stared at him with an intensity that made his survival instincts scream warnings. "What did you just call me?" she asked, her voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. Marcus felt heat creep up his neck. "I'm sorry. It's just a human expression. I meant that your technique was impressive. Sweet means pleasant or admirable. You called me Sweet Fang," she interrupted, taking a step closer. "Do you comprehend the significance of those words in my culture?" Marcus swallowed hard, suddenly aware that he might have committed some grave cultural offense. "I'm afraid I don't. Please, enlighten me so I can apologize appropriately." For a long moment, Zixtara studied him with those penetrating eyes. Then something extraordinary happened. The corners of her mouth curved upward in what humans might mistake for a smile, revealing those impressive fangs that had earned his inadvertent nickname. "Among my people," she said slowly, "such a name can only be given by a potential mate. It suggests that one finds beauty in what others might fear, that strength and gentleness can coexist. It is ... the highest form of intimate address." Marcus felt his face burn with embarrassment. "I had no idea. I sincerely apologize for the cultural misunderstanding. I meant no disrespect or inappropriate—" "Stop," she said, raising one clawed hand. "I did not say I was offended. That conversation had occurred 3 days ago. Since then, Zixtara's behavior had undergone a complete transformation. Gone was the aloof warrior who barely acknowledged his existence. In her place was a creature of playful menace who seemed to delight in keeping him perpetually off balance. She'd taken to perching on his desk while he worked, her long tail swishing with barely contained amusement as she watched him struggle to concentrate. When he tried to maintain professional distance, she'd lean closer, her voice dropping to a purr as she asked questions about human courtship rituals for scientific purposes, of course. The situation reached its current crisis point when Marcus arrived at his lab that morning to find Zixtara sprawled across his workspace like a living shadow, her golden eyes tracking his every movement with predatory interest. "Good morning, Dr. Chun," she said, her accent making his name sound like a caress. "I trust you slept well?" Marcus set down his coffee with trembling hands, acutely aware of how her presence seemed to fill the entire room. Zixthara, we need to discuss appropriate professional boundaries. She tilted her head, ears swiveling forward with apparent curiosity. Oh? And what boundaries might those be, sweet Fang? The way she said his accidental nickname sent shivers down his spine. You can't keep calling me that. And this ... He gestured helplessly at her casual occupation of his desk. This isn't appropriate behavior for a research subject. Research subject? She laughed, a sound like distant thunder. My dear human, I completed my required participation in your study yesterday. I am no longer your subject. Marcus blinked in confusion. But the council's mandate has been fulfilled. She slid off the desk with fluid grace, moving to stand directly in front of him. I am now free to pursue other interests, such as learning more about the fascinating human who sees sweetness in fangs. The implications of her words hit him like a physical blow. Without the formal research structure between them, without the professional barriers that had kept there, interactions safely academic, they were simply two sapient beings in a room together. And one of them was an apex predator who apparently found him intriguing. Zixthara, he began carefully, I think there's been a misunderstanding about human intentions versus expressions. She stepped closer, close enough that he could see the subtle patterns in her midnight fur, smelled the exotic spice of her alien scent. Have there been? She asked softly. Tell me, Marcus Chun, do you still think my fangs are sweet? Looking into those molten gold eyes, seeing the careful vulnerability hidden beneath her predatory confidence, Marcus realized that maybe, just maybe, some misunderstandings were worth exploring. After all, humanity had always been known for taking impossible risks and finding beauty in the most unexpected places. Yes, he admitted quietly, I do. Her tail flicked once, satisfied, and she really smiled, showing those magnificent fangs that had started it all. Perhaps this was what HFY really meant. Not just humanity's refusal to back down from danger, but their ability to find connection across the vast differences between species, to bridge gaps with nothing but honesty and an open heart, even when that heart was racing with the knowledge that he'd just agreed to court one of the galaxy's most dangerous predators. Sweet. Fang, indeed.